Jesus is Lord. And he was such a nice Jewish boy. Jesus changed my life, and he's still in the life-changing business. I believe in the divinity of Christ. I believe in the accuracy of the Hebrew Scriptures. I'm convinced that Moses and the ancient Jewish prophets pointed to Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Messiah. Jesus died to save sinners, and you are a sinner. Shalom once again. My name is Randy Weiss, and this is CrossTalk. I'm glad you joined me, and I hope you feel the same, especially after considering a revolutionary perspective on the Christian faith. For many, nothing less than a spiritual revolution will work. From the financial markets to the world of politics, a revolutionary call to change is in the air. The task before me is to challenge your faith at a very intimate level. Some aspects of your faith may be well grounded and orthodox. Others may be tainted by too much influence from our perverse culture. It's hard to remain pure in heart when we are permeated with impure impressions continuously being woven into the fabric of our faith. May I ask you if a few purposeful changes to the texture of that fabric might be beneficial at this time? Are you truly satisfied with your relationship to God and the belief system that helps you live out your faith? As a minimum, will you reflect on the inventory of your most deeply held beliefs? I fear for the souls of many who call themselves Christians, but they're little more than warmed-over humanists with a soft spot on their heart for the baby Jesus. You must realize that by itself, such a notion of faith is, well, it's deficient. A soft spot for Jesus does not make a Christian. Jesus no longer lacks a hotel room for his mother, a carpentry contract for his father, nor does he long for a place to lay his weary head. And contrary to what one may think, Jesus does not need a place in your heart. You need Jesus. He does not need you. So don't feel obliged to do him any favors. As you can tell, this is going to be an awkward, abrasive message. And well, it must be. The wrath of God can be more awkward and much more problematic than mere abrasion or a troublesome flow of ideas. And that being true, there's another fact to which I must admit. I'm a TV preacher. To the best of my knowledge, there are no 12-step programs for televangelists. Therapy rarely brings a cure. And regardless of what we say, hold on to your wallets. If you watch enough of us, you'll rapidly find out that we're obviously at the bottom of the spiritual food chain. As such, I need to tell you something I will lightheartedly declare to be a true story. Having told this before, it appeals to my sensibility as a Texan. While driving through West Texas, a respected doctor saw a TV preacher laying across the highway near a dead rattlesnake. He reported the incident to the state patrol and was asked which one was the snake. To which he replied, "Well, sir, I'm not sure, but there were skid marks in front of the rattler." When asked about the cause of death, well, the doctor replied, "Can't be quite sure. Don't know who bit first." Okay, I won't apologize for my avocation in ministry because I've always kept my day job to feed my family. It's a great privilege to be a tent maker, to earn an honest living, and to share the stage of Christian television with the good, the bad, and the really big hair. But I don't want to talk about tent making, televangelists, or snakes. I want to focus on something more real: the challenge of faith. Christians are taught that we shouldn't play together with the sinners, but sinners are the ones who most need what we carry deep within our souls. Yet we often do everything we can to avoid hanging with the sinners. I'm glad that Jesus got past that fear in his ministry. He reached out to the hookers and embezzlers. He carried the cure for sin out into the war zones of sinfulness. But he too was rejected. Let me ask you something. Are you prepared for rejection? It hurts, you know. How about this? What would you feel if your parents did not permit any contact with you for months and months and months and months. What would you think if, after nearly 2 years of no communication, your father had a conversation with you, but the topic was his decision to pursue the scheduling of a court date and the hiring of attorneys to change your name? How would you feel if your faith so disgusted your parents that it made you feel your very birth was a horrible mistake? My faith in Christ caused precisely that level of embarrassment to my family. You see, that was how my father responded. Nearly 2 years after my decision to follow Christ, that was the actual discussion that my father had with me. Months of silence became years of rejection. Discount grace is not a faith I find palatable. Yet it occurs to me that it might be a prevalent form of Western Christianity. Discount grace is a fictitious premise born in the false religion of modern culture. Now, whether you agree or you think I'm wrong, I want to ask you to please stay tuned for my explanation. Please.